bass. Music of Johann Sebastian Bach is everywhere. Despite being a German composer and musician of the late Baroque period, 1685 until 1750, his influence is still omnipresent in our days. Weddings, Bach. Haunted houses, Bach. Church, Bach. Shredding electric guitar solos, look, it's Bach. The Baroque composer produced more than 1,100 works, from liturgical organ pieces to secular cantatas for orchestra. Bach enriched established German styles through his mastery of counterpoint, harmonic and motivic organization, and his adaptation of rhythms, forms, and textures from abroad, particularly from Italy and France. Throughout the 18th century, Bach was primarily valued as an organist, while his keyboard music, such as the Well-Tempered Clavier, was appreciated for its didactic qualities. Nerdy fact: some people are ashamed to admit that classical music, especially the Baroque style, makes them sleepy. Be ashamed no more. According to Bach's earlier biographer, the Goldberg variations were composed to help Count Hermann Karl von Kaiserling overcome insomnia. This story, to be fair, is disputed. Whatever the truth, it hasn't stopped the Anderson Dance troupe from presenting a fantastic Goldberg-based tour of performances called Ternary Patterns for Insomnia. Sleep researchers have also suggested studying the tune's effects on sleeplessness. So the lesson time for playing classical music, and particularly in our case Johann Sebastian Bach. The examples I played before are a combination of his 6 suites for cello. I transcribed them for 5-string bass guitar. I try to play them also on the 4-string, on the 6-string. It doesn't matter how many strings you have on your bass. It's just a bit trickier than to play it on the cello, because the bass is it's tuned in 4th, right? We get B, E, A, D, G on the 5-string. On cello, you're tuned in 5th. And the other thing is, what is different, of course, the timbre of the tone. The cello, you can play those beautiful long notes which makes you tick, you're really that emotional, just hear a few notes on the cello, if they're playing correctly, right? On bass, it's way harder. And the third aspect, which is different compared to playing on cello, the octaves. So it means if you want to play the Bach music and make it sound like on cello, you have to play pretty high. So 6-string bass is ideal, or if you play this part, which I started. You can play it in this position, which I really like because I'm a bass player and I want to feel the bass. But to make it more romantic or maybe more articulate, you should be playing it actually here. Hear the difference? So I'm playing octave lower here, an octave higher. The inspiration, or why actually to play the classical music? What's the reason behind it? Why to learn all that complicated stuff? For me, the most important is that I'm working on my technique and also on my music memory. I have to memorize just complex music, and that's really challenging. It's really different to play Bach's music because there's nothing very minimalistically, repetitive. You don't repeat the phrases that much, like when you play a groove, Okay, and you go on, for example, with this groove like hundreds of times. Okay, then you change the. In Bach's music, you don't have these simple things. It's always something going on there. Right? There are licks, scales, crazy fingerings, and you should play it as a flow of music. There is no break, and you screw up one note, and you can hear it instantly, and you have to start again almost. So there's bit of a pressure on you. So it's really great for developing your technique and working out your fingerboard. Another inspiration which is really cool in classical music is that you have to work on your arpeggios. Arpeggios is the thing which we bass players tend to neglect. We don't like to practice arpeggios. What is it? Arpeggio? It's basically the notes in the chord. So when you play G major chord, it consists of 3 notes, G, B, and D. So arpeggio is this, or it can be this, or you can extend it. It's still the 3 notes, G, B, D, G, B, D, right? And G, D, B, G. So when I extend it and I play a 2-octave G major arpeggio, it will sound like this. So you see the point why we don't like playing arpeggios. It's quite difficult. You have to stretch your fingers and the distance between the notes is quite big. So it's not easy to play. But the thing, when you start to play arpeggios, is that you start to hear better the harmony, the thing what you're playing. Just a simple example. If I play G major and A minor, these are the chords. We don't have to play them on the bass, that's guitar's job, keyboard player. But if I play arpeggios, let's say I play 2-octave arpeggios, G major and A minor. Then going to A minor. You're instantly the right notes. It's very pure, very melodic, and you're not playing anything else. You're not playing the notes which are not in the chord. So it's a very pure way of playing the bass lines. If you look back to the 50s, all the rock and roll bass lines were these are all arpeggios. They're just arpeggios within 1 octave. So the early bass lines were just playing, simple job. Guitar playing A major. So what I play, A, C sharp, and E. I play A major arpeggio notes, and then have fun with it rhythmically. But basically, as a bass player, I'm playing the same notes as the guitar player is playing like this. He's playing harmonically, and I'm playing them melodically. So practicing arpeggios is a great skill, and it will help you not just in classical music and be more proficient with, for example, Johann Sebastian Bach works, but also with your bass playing. I can ambitiously say that it will purify. Everything will be more melodic when you start to use arpeggios. You'll feel more the harmony. If you play this is G major, G minor. You can hear it instantly, the difference. And I can have fun within 1 position, 2 octaves, and then playing inversions. And that's a whole new world. Actually, that's my PR frame here. I wrote a book about a bass, about playing arpeggios on the bass. It's called Bass Gym 101 Arpeggios for More Melodic Bass Lines. So go and check it out. Okay, have fun, play classics, memorize it, and see you next time.